You're watching WPTA TV 21 Alive Weekend News with Diana Lee, Eric Olson, Mark Wolf, and Michael Morrissey.
Good evening, I'm Diana Lee.
And I'm Eric Olson. As Americans on this Memorial Day weekend, remember the veterans who fought in our wars. A Snyder High School teacher is fighting feelings of anger about the death and destruction that threatens his homeland.
21 Alive's Jeff Neumeyer has a Memorial Weekend story about an African native who blames the United States in part for the chaos in his country.
The question you ask, does anybody care? Okay, the other question you ask, where is humanity?
Francis Mustafa feels helpless to stop the mass murders and maiming of civilians that have left his native land of Sierra Leone in turmoil. Rebel troops fighting forces from the elected government for 9 years are blamed with killing tens of thousands of men, women, and children, including his brother, brother-in-law, and numerous cousins. Mustafa, a Snyder High School biology teacher who was a National Teacher of the Year finalist 6 years ago, was nearly killed himself during a 1995 visit to the West African nation. Mustafa says the rebels have seized control of Sierra Leone's rich diamond fields, selling the diamonds to neighboring Liberia for guns and ammunition. And Mustafa says the U.S. has made matters worse by endorsing blanket amnesty and a role in the government for the rebels' leader as a way to secure an end to the bloodshed.
Okay, how are you going to tell thousands of people whose relatives have been mutilated, killed, and tell them, you know, forgive and forget, that's the price you're going to pay for peace? No, I cannot. I cannot forgive, I cannot forget.
It's frustrating for Mr. Mustafa to be so far away from his homeland and know what's going on back there, but he does keep up with a lot of current events via the computer. A web page called Sierra Leone News provides daily news updates. Mustafa believes America would aid the cause of his people if Sierra Leone held some strategic importance to the U.S.
This nation has been champion for democracy. The question is, democracy for whom? Is it different for other people, for other groups?
Would U.S. policy change if U.S. citizens knew the full truth and demanded a stop to the killing that thus far on the world scene has gone largely unnoticed? Jeff Neumeyer, 21 Alive News.
And just today in Sierra Leone, UN peacekeepers who were being held hostage have been released.
And in other news, one man was killed and another injured in a single vehicle accident in Noble County last night. The accident happened around 10 o'clock on County Road 900 North near its intersection with 1200 West. Authorities say the vehicle driven by 37-year-old Ibrahim Hamid of Ligonier veered off the road and struck a tree. A passenger in the car, 30-year-old Bakara Ramadan, also of Ligonier, died at the scene. Hamid is in serious condition at Goshen Hospital.
Fort Wayne school bus drivers are at the center of a death threat investigation. Several bus drivers in the Fort Wayne Community School District have been asked to submit handwriting samples. The samples will be analyzed by experts to try to find the person responsible for sending death threats to district managers. Apparently 16 drivers were asked to write phrases like concerned citizen and disgruntled driver with an AK-47. Some of the drivers say the requests are an invasion of their privacy. Well, Indiana lawmakers are being accused of unconstitutional practices over school funding. Over the past year, lawmakers have given out $180,000 in grant money to 5 religious schools in the state. Opponents say that's unconstitutional on the grounds of separation of church and state. The grants were handed out by individual lawmakers from a fund that includes proceeds from lottery taxes. 2 lawmakers have responded to the claims of unfair practice and are calling for the issue to be examined further.
Yesterday's derailment of a freight train loaded with toxic chemicals is still causing problems in Louisiana. The chemicals that caught fire in the accident are no longer burning this evening, but authorities say it may still be several days before the 2,000 residents evacuated from their homes can return. 30 cars of the Union Pacific train derailed. 7 of those caught fire. Police say the tanks with the most dangerous chemicals did not catch fire.
Memorial Day celebrations are well underway this weekend in the nation's capital. Today, the Rolling Thunder Motorcycle Memorial roared through Washington. It's the 13th annual gathering of the bikers. Many of the riders are Vietnam War veterans. Now, others are there to support them and to remember the soldiers who fought that war.
And of course, this month we mark the 25th anniversary of the
right.
end of the Vietnam War. And the soldiers who fought there are certainly among those remembered on this Memorial Day weekend, including 82 soldiers from Allen County who were killed in Vietnam.
For one small town in New York, however, the war took an especially high toll. Sydney Center, New York, lost 1% of its population in Vietnam. And to put that in perspective, 1% of Fort Wayne's population is nearly 3,000 people.
That's right. We have a special Memorial Day report on those soldiers and their town from our sister station in Sydney Center.
The peace and tranquility of a quiet valley town. Disturbed by the hum of battle 11 time zones away. The patriotism and innocence of a rural community.
We're taking Fry out of there. Okay, I think you got him.
Bloodied by a war that could not be won. The pride and ease of an era of simplicity washed away by the dawn of a political hailstorm.
Roger, that was some sort of rifle.
The Vietnam War attacked the soul of Sydney Center.
I believed in the cause, and I thought we were doing the right thing.
Steve Anderson enlisted in 1966. At the age of 19, he volunteered to serve in Vietnam.
We were all baby boomers. We were brought up in the best of years in the 50s, and we all kind of went to war in the turbulent 60s. So I figured, you know, if they could do it, I could too.
This decorated war veteran requested to serve in Vietnam, knowing 4 of his high school classmates had already died in the line of duty. Then their memory motivated Anderson. Now their memory haunts him.
There's always a sense of guilt of being able to come home whole when somebody didn't.
In all, 7 soldiers from the Sydney Center area were buried in cemeteries like this one during the Vietnam era. By way of comparison, during all of World War II, when far more Americans were killed, there were only 3 who sacrificed their lives. These young faces could have been in any high school yearbook. Instead, names like Bobby Barton, Bobby Gifford, and Gerald Allen are etched in stone on a war memorial.
Got here about 5:30 on Friday.
Bobby Barton was the first of the group to die. Malaria killed him in 1966. He was 19. The deaths came in quick succession after that, from an accident, an explosion, and enemy fire. Ruth Barton says it was almost as if the war bundled the boys up and threw them out together. As she reads the letters her son wrote,
I don't dare guess in a million years when I will ever get mail.
She laments the letters he never received.
He never got any mail, and that broke my heart to think that he never got any mail and never knew anything, you know, was going on home.
Back home, there was grief, relieved only with the joy of the homecomings. More than 30 years of life have passed for Steve Anderson. A wife and a son, and a spot on a mountain have brought him happiness. But he never sets aside Vietnam. He carries the burden of responsibility to his friends who didn't make it home.
It was a war that no one wanted. But the names will forever be on that wall. And we can't forget, and we must forget.
In Sydney Center, the peace has returned. The blood has washed away. The heroes live forever. Matt Mulcahy for 21 Alive News.
And he's so true when he says that they feel guilty about coming back when the friends, you know, haven't come back. So that seems to be a common thread among the veterans, unfortunately.
It'll be a long time.
It will be, really.
We'll be right back.
Closed captioning on 21 Alive is brought to you by the Hearing Center. The future in hearing aids is here.
Monday, the Barbara Walters interview with Carly Simon and your letters in Barbara's mailbag on an all-new View. May Madness on the ABC Daytime.
Ready to put more fun in your life? Olympic Pools has the answer. Olympic is the area's largest pool and spa store that offers so much more. Gazebos, saunas, billiard tables and accessories, slot machines, game tables, Weber grills, and big green egg smokers. Whether it's pool or spa accessories, chemicals, toys, games, floats, or water exercise equipment, Olympic Pools is the answer. Plan your escape at Olympic Pools, open 7 days a week on Coliseum just west of Glenbrook, helping families have fun for over 30 years.
Think all termite control companies are the same? Think twice. Some treat your problem only one way, but Orkin doesn't stop here. While others call it a day, Orkin goes one step further with targeted liquid as necessary, creating a second barrier for double protection. Targeted treatments to kill the termites you have now, baits to help keep them from coming back later. Guaranteed. For double protection, call Orkin today.
Introducing the Lexus LS Platinum Series with a host of unique features, including a 2-year complimentary American Express Platinum card for benefits like preferred seating at selected fine restaurants. Now, more than ever, nothing treats you quite like a Lexus. Save $1,900 at Lexus of Fort Wayne.
The SPCA is looking for a home for a playful pup who needs a little extra attention.
That's right. He's very playful and he's really energetic and he needs a compatible family. This is Darby. Darby is a 1-year-old Brittany Spaniel. We're told he's very affectionate and would be great in a family with older children. Now, he weighs about 54 pounds, so he's going to need a fenced-in yard. If you'd like to take Darby into your home or any of the other animals at the SPCA, you can give them a call at 744-0454, or you can log on to their website at acspca.cjb.net. But Darby is not the only one who wants to go home. All these animals have been lost and they need your help in getting back to their families. Take a good look now. They may look familiar to you. The folks at Animal Control would like the opportunity for these little guys to go back home. So if you recognize them, please call the Animal Control Shelter at 427-1244.
Been a very busy weather day.
It has been, and a busy sports day. Michael
and a busy weather and sports guy.
Yeah, Michael's got both caps today.
That's right. Little treat for you later on.
That's right. So he's going to be up next with the weather. Stay with us.
21 Alive News is sponsored by Banditos. Warm chips, hot salsa, cool margaritas.
Even with all its sophistication and refinement, the effects of Jeep Grand Cherokee's legendary capability are still hard to miss.
Mom, do we have more chalk?
Now lease Grand Cherokee Laredo for only $319 a month. Returning Gold Key lessees can save even more.
If you're busy working weekends, you need a phone company that's working hard to save you money. Our Weekend Warrior plan at Centennial Wireless does just that. 900 total wireless minutes, just $50. 500 minutes for your busy weekends, 400 minutes for weekday calls. Weekend Warrior, great plan, great coverage, small price. 900 minutes, $50. Perfect for busy people. Centennial Wireless, your big area, small price wireless phone company.
I'm Michael Morrissey from 21 Alive with your high and low for the day and your record setters. The forecast is next.
I'm a champion. Me too.
I'm a champion. We're champions.
I'm a champion.
And I am too. No, he's the champion.
Be a champion for the kids in your neighborhood. Watch CMN Champions live from Walt Disney World Resort. It'll be June 3rd and 4th right here on 21 Alive, and you'll be helping kids at Riley Children's Hospital.
Chrysler Concorde. Sophisticated styling, multi-valve V6, a spacious interior, and automatic respect wherever you park it. Now lease Chrysler Concorde LX for just $269 a month. Returning Gold Key lessees only can save even more.
We had some significant rainfall around here last night. There was a lake in my front yard.
Yeah, it really did, and of course that played havoc with the Indy 500, pushing it way back into the afternoon, as we all know. But a little bit on the damp side today out on Lima Road. You can see the folks just kind of taking their time, and we really urge you to do that throughout the Memorial Day holiday weekend. Take your time and don't tailgate. Give yourself proper spacing because you're going to need it, because roads could be a little bit slick. There's going to be a lot of people out and around. Right now, temperature at 55 degrees, humidity is 100%. That's going to give way to some fog this afternoon and evening, especially as things clear up a little bit. So do be careful as you're out and around late. Winds out of the northeast at 9. Barometer is steady. And a little over ½ an inch of precipitation. Of course, we did have a little bit more than that in areas around. As we take a live look at Supercell 2000 on the wide sweep here, we can see that most of the rain is moving off to the northeast. In fact, things dried out around Indianapolis enough to get that race in today, but things are pushing off to the northeast. However, we're kind of worried about the cloudiness, and we do expect some of that cloudiness to hang around with us till early tomorrow. As we take a look at our weather spotter here and find out what's going on with Ross Ellett. Ross checked in a little bit earlier. We talked about some of those heavier rainfall totals. A 2-day total of over 1 1/3 inches up in Albion. And Ross said that it had quieted down a little bit when he called that in just a couple of hours ago. So some very impressive 2-day totals around the area, not quite as much for us here in Fort Wayne. On the surface, it looks like this. That pesky area of low pressure has been creating cloudiness, and all the rain is finally moving off to the east coast. It's been a very slow mover. Now, things are fairly sunny in the central plains, but it is going to take a while for that area of low pressure to move off. And we are hoping by tomorrow afternoon we will get to see a little bit of sunshine, which would be kind of unique here on Memorial Day. So we take a look at the latest satellite image and see where that area of low pressure really spinning some of those clouds around, giving you a nice comma shape there. But things are starting to move slowly off to the east, so that is giving us some hope that we will be able to see a little bit of sunshine tomorrow. Latest regional NEXRAD radar shows that most of the rain has moved off to the east. We are getting just a few scattered showers in portions of central and eastern Indiana, but for the most part, much of the moisture is moving off to the east coast, and that'll take probably another day or so for that to pass on out into the Atlantic. On the surface, it looks like this. The area of low pressure that's been bringing all the rain has moved well off to the east now. That rain, as we talked about, back into portions of Indiana, but finally clearing out. That cold front down to the south where some of the heavier rain has occurred, also moving to the southeast. The next area we look to move in will be an area of low pressure, and maybe for Tuesday, giving us a chance of rain or a thunderstorm. So tonight we look for a cool, damp night, some fog around, so be careful. 49, it is going to be a chilly night tonight. 72, if we get a little sunshine, should see some clearing in the afternoon, east-northeasterly winds, and fairly light. And the extended forecast shows you that we do have a pretty good chance of some rain late Tuesday on into Wednesday, and maybe lingering for Thursday. Temperatures will be warmer, and our picture of the weather comes from Cassandra Davis of Washington School. She sees a bright blue sky, and we hope to see a little bit of that ourselves tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, we haven't seen that in a couple days, have we?
We really haven't.
All right, now I guess we switch to sports.
The big sports news today is that
we are going to have some sports coming up. That's
right.
Sports.
Indianapolis 500. We'll have more next.
This portion of 21 Alive News is sponsored by Jiffy Lube, a company that cares.
Ah, the yard at Carter Lumber. It's quiet now, but if you listen close, you can almost hear the panel saw. You hear that? Oh, there's so much here. Decks, backyard barns, whole house packages, everything from start to finish. Lumber, roofing, windows and doors, vinyl, fences, all here at the yard.
Listen, lumber boy, quit coming here at night.
Come on down to the yard at Carter Lumber. Hey, can I play with a siren? Woo!
Pick up a select variety of Post cereals. Choose any 3 for just $6. All varieties of 5.5-ounce Friskies canned cat food, 5 for $1, limit 15. And get Tide Ultra Laundry Detergent in the 100-ounce bottle or 33 to 42 use box, 2 for $9, only at Meijer.
To an engineer, it's the freedom to question everything. To a designer, it's the freedom to explore new territories. company. It's the freedom to search for new ideas. And to the men and women who make up that company, it's the freedom to take a different road. To make a different statement. To take a different view. The freedom to be different.
Well, Michael, with all the rain in the area, we weren't even sure we were going to get the race started today.
Yeah, it really didn't look like it. Even into the afternoon, they had some heavy clouds in the Indianapolis area. Of course, we had a lot of mist here, but fortunately, things dried out enough for them. And Mother Nature kept track crews busy well into the afternoon, keeping the track dry for this year's race. Now, it didn't dampen the spirits of thousands that turned out to see the big event. The race was originally to start late in the morning, but delayed well into the afternoon, around 2 o'clock. You can see the crews out trying to get the track dried off, and eventually the racers got a chance to get into the cars and get those fueled up and got them out on the track. Racing did eventually happen there, and a few crashes as usual, getting some folks out of the race. Juan Montoya, though, was quite proficient at keeping his car out of those accidents and eventually would be the winner. Juan Montoya, a great race today, led most of the way. When we talked to Dean Pantazzi, he said it looked like Montoya was out for much of a Sunday drive. There you can see him taking the lead and hanging on around the curve. And Montoya getting a chance to pull into the winner's circle this afternoon. That's Jimmy Vassar there, actually. Juan Montoya there giving a little wave to the crowd and getting a chance to celebrate in the winner's circle, taking the checkered flag, and a big day for Juan Montoya. Anytime you're able to pick up that Indianapolis 500, it really gives you a different area of credibility. His pit crew having a great time there as well and celebrating after the race. And Game 4 of the NBA playoffs found the Blazers in desperate need of a win on their home floor. And as we head off to the West Coast, we see Phil Jackson watching the Trailblazers sink a shot there. Stoudemire with the short jumper. Another basket. Rasheed Wallace that time taking it off the glass. And the Lakers come back. The nice layup inside and the slam home from the big guy who takes care of everything inside, it seems, for the Lakers, with Shaquille O'Neal. And the Lakers would eventually end up winning this game by a score of 103-91 on Portland's home floor. The Reds were in action this holiday weekend. See, they had some runners in scoring position. Ken Griffey at the plate. Griffey a chance to contribute to the Reds situation, but unfortunately couldn't get around on that pitch. Ball down in the dirt. Griffey swings and misses. But Danny Batista was coming through for the Florida Marlins. Takes this one deep into the left field corner and actually bounces off there and gets the home run. Bounces off the top of the wall. Batista tacks on 3, and that would be the final score as the Florida Marlins take the Cincinnati Reds by a score of 3-1. And the Braves were at home today. Andrew Jones was a contributor for the Atlanta Braves. Andrew Jones had a homer early and then made an outstanding play in the field. On a catch hit to center field, Javi Lopez contributed a homer, and the Atlanta Braves were 4-3 winners, or excuse me, the Houston Astros 4-3 winners over the Atlanta Braves. Chicago White Sox. There's some of that Atlanta Braves video. There's Andrew Jones, the home run that we were talking about a little bit earlier. Deep down the left field side. Now he's going to come back and he's going to make an outstanding play in center field. As we switch over to some Sox highlights here for you. Nice catch out in right field. White Sox had a tough day, though, as Cleveland pretty much corralled the White Sox today, coming up with a final score of 12-3 to win the Cleveland Indians over the Chicago White Sox. Some other American League scores. You see Tampa Bay, a big win over Seattle, and Anaheim, an 8-4 win over Kansas City. Minnesota with a win over Texas by a final score of 4-3. Now the Wizards are trying to put the twist on the Lugnuts at Lansing today and did a pretty good job, in fact. The Wiz got 2 RBIs from John Shishik. He's the team leader in ribbies with 45. Mike Thompson picked up his first win with the Wizards, and they got he's off to a 1-1 season. The final score, the Wizards 4 and the Lansing Lugnuts 2. And we will have more coming up here for you. 21 Live when we come back.
21 Live News is sponsored by Scott's Foods. Get more, save more.
Introducing the Lexus ES Platinum Series with a host of unique features,
Beverage, sir?
including a 2-year complimentary American Express Platinum card for benefits like free companion tickets on selected international flights. Now, more than ever,
Prepare for departure.
nothing treats you quite like a Lexus.
Bye-bye.
Save $2,100 at Lexus of Fort Wayne.
Thank you.
Now get $50 off each Pella replacement window. Visit the Pella Windowscaping Center nearest you. Pella, viewed to be the best.
It's good to see you sunshine. It's worth an extra mile.
There's a new star shining, growing brighter every smile.
Now Hardee's gives you a choice of 2 great sandwiches for 99 cents. Our juicy Famous Star Burger or spicy chicken sandwich now just 99 cents. Big Hardee's taste, small Hardee's price. Just 99 cents.
Hello, Hardee's, you're cooking good today.
Your Northern Indiana Ford dealers moving cars and trucks. Because now you can get special low 0.9% financing on the 5-star safety of Ford Taurus and Windstar, the ruggedness of Ford Explorer, the built Ford Tough Ranger, and the sportiness of Ford Mustang and ZX2. But hurry, special low 0.9% financing ends May 31st. So think Ford fast.
Your Northern Indiana Ford dealers think Ford first.
Coming up tonight at 10 o'clock from the 21 Alive newsroom, 3 people were killed when a small plane crashed into a city street in Hawthorne, California. That story and much more tonight at 10 o'clock. Diana?
So has the rain moved out of the area for tonight?
Yeah, it's going to be kind of rainy, a little bit damp and foggy. We are looking for a rather chilly night at 49 and 72 for a high tomorrow. And may I just say that Dean Pantazzi will have a wrap from Indianapolis coming up on the late news.
And finally tonight, one Texas homemaker gives new meaning to the phrase, go fly a kite. Pat Hammond won the National Kite Flying Championship back in '72, and since then she's crisscrossed the country getting people more interested in these high flyers. She says she's made hundreds of kites in her lifetime, even one that flies indoors. And I guess that you would have to fly one of the indoors one
with a big
today.
fan.
Yeah, because
ever been to a kite festival?
No.
Oh, they're fabulous.
Are
yeah.
they?
They have some huge monsters, things up there flying. It's just beautiful.
Wow. Well, that's the very latest from us. So we'll be back tonight at 10.
We'll see you then. Disney Sunday Night will be up next. Take care.